Welcome to Something to Wrestle With. Bruce Prichard. Well, you know. That's not
later in the
it.
show, Austin Rock will beat Kane and The Undertaker by DQ when Big Boss Man comes out wearing a mask and attacks Austin and then unmasks. And this is Big Boss Man's return to the WWF after having a stint in WCW. Why debut Boss Man this way? I mean, obviously you're putting him with the hottest star in the business, but it does feel, I don't know, like an interesting spot to have him because he hadn't been previously sort of positioned near the top of the cards.
I think that the idea behind it was to have, this was going to be Vince's heater. And Boss Man was in great shape. He looked absolutely fantastic. And it was reimagining, reinventing the Big Boss Man in this new gear and this whole brand new look. The idea originally, from what I know, was to bring the Big Boss Man in and have him work with Steve and have him work for the championship. But unfortunately, that damn bell rang, and Boss Man wasn't the same Big Boss Man that we had before. He had lost a lot of weight, and unfortunately, I think he had lost a step or two as well in the ring, and didn't have that same intensity that Vince was looking for. But debuting him that way, the idea was that's going to be, Big Boss Man and Stone Cold Steve Austin. People would believe this big nasty son of a bitch would put a beating on Austin. Then Survivor Series happened.
The November 2nd Raw opens with Shane McMahon saying his father wasn't around and he was in charge. So Steve Austin is going to get a title shot on the November 16th Raw. And then Vince shows up in a limo and gives a really, really strong heel interview. And we're sort of off to the races with what's going to happen at Survivor Series. We've touched on this before. We certainly did a whole episode on Survivor Series 98. Steve is in a 16-man tournament to crown a world champion. And then there is the Steve Austin Big Boss Man match that, boy, you really love. Meltzer would call it a real weak finish. And I think you would say that's even probably a little polite.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, it was absolutely terrible. The finish, they had everybody out at the ring from the corporation. And the finish was supposed to take place with Steve, where Shane gives him the double birds, and Steve gets up to go corner Shane. Boss Man, who would have been out at the ring, supposed to be there the entire show, slides in the ring behind Austin, nails Austin with the nightstick, and Austin's now screwed. We're out there. The match is taking place. Get to the spot. I'm like, where the fuck is Boss Man? And everybody's looking around and go, where is Boss Man? He's at ringside. Now, backstage before the match, right before the match, everybody is standing in front of the gorilla position. I send everybody to the ring. It's just like normal. Boss Man was there. But he had asked, right before they went, he says, hey, I've got to go over my match with Undertaker. Can I do that? And he didn't go out for the match. Now, why no one caught that, I don't know. Because he was there. I remember talking to him the whole 9 yards. And I'm screaming in the back, where the fuck is Boss Man? And we're in St. Louis. And it was just absolutely an insane moment when there's no Boss Man. Nobody knows what the hell to do. Finally, somebody says, get in it. Somebody hit Steve with a chair. To which Jerry Briscoe jumped in, and they had to do something. Steve couldn't beat up Shane. We had to do something to get Steve out of it. And we called it the Tink Heard Round the World because Steve's got a bad neck. Briscoe's swinging a chair. Briscoe sure as hell did not want to be responsible for hurting Steve. Steve didn't know what the hell was coming at him anyway. And we had to do something to get the hell out of this match. And you had enough guys out there to hopefully do it. It looked like shit. And then here comes Boss Man running around the corner, running to the ring. And everybody's, where the fuck were you? a catastrophe. It was the shits. It's one of those, we know what was supposed to happen. The audience doesn't necessarily know, but in this situation, they knew that it sucked. It wasn't good.